Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about how you can overcome your feelings for someone. So, first and foremost, let's understand why you are in this situation. The reason you need to overcome your feelings for someone is because you're attracted or obsessing over someone you shouldn't be obsessing over. Either they're taken, unavailable in a relationship, maybe you're in a relationship, maybe you broke up with this person and they made it clear they don't want to be together, but you're still obsessing over them. So, what do you do in those situations? This might come as a complete shock or surprise to you, but the problem isn't your feelings for this person. It's okay to have feelings for someone you shouldn't be attracted to, theoretically. It's okay to love someone. It's okay to like someone. It's okay to be attracted to someone. It doesn't mean you need to take action towards that person. The problem is the obsessive thoughts that happen. The problem is you thinking there's hope or there's some action you can take to make this situation happen or change in some way. So, I can be in a relationship and attracted to someone else. It doesn't mean I'm going to go take action and ask that person out. I can have broken up with my ex who's really toxic and I can still feel love for them. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and get back together with that person. So your feelings aren't the problem, you know? The problem, the biggest, most dangerous thing here is your hope. Hope that the situation could change. So I'll give you an example. If I'm obsessing over someone who maybe I don't know if they like me or not. Let's say they're hot and cold. They gave me some signals, but I can't be sure if they like me or not. Let's say it's a friend that I usually hang out with. You know, my hope is that at one point they're gonna confess their love to me, or at one point something's gonna happen, we're gonna get together. My fear is that if I do take action, and go and talk to them, I'm going to get rejected. But actually, in this situation, this is the best thing you can do. Because the best thing you can do when you want to overcome your obsession towards someone is to kill the hope. And how do you do that? By gaining clarity. Hope happens when you don't have the clear full picture, when there's the unknown, when there's the possibility, But when the circle is open. But when you go and take action, for instance, in this case, where let's say the other person isn't unavailable in some way, like they're in a relationship, but they're available, they're just giving me hot and cold signals. I go, I take action. I might, get rejected, which is painful. I might get, approved by the other person, which is a win. But if I do get rejected, what happens is I'm going to suffer, but at least the hope dies. I can grieve, the loss. I can feel the pain of the loss. But what happens is that I'm going to move on. I'm not going to obsess and fantasize about that person anymore because, yeah, sure, it's painful, but I can move on. Not taking action, keeping the hope alive, keeps that circle open. So I'm going to keep thinking about them. So, what you need to do is kill the hope. Let's say you're attracted to your sister's boyfriend or, your brother's girlfriend. And you know that taking any sort of action would be really damaging to your relationship with your brother or sister or your life. So, taking action isn't good. So then you need to kill that hope by understanding the repercussions, by understanding, that your action will have severe consequences, and then grieving, the loss of that person, grieving the loss of that hope. And again, you can still have feelings. You can still like someone you're not supposed to like. You can still be attracted to them. But understand this is never going to happen. I'm never going to take action. And I can grieve the loss of that. But the way you kill the obsession is acceptance of reality. And if you don't have the full picture and you have the possibility, complete the full picture. You still have doubts that, your ex might come back, you might get together. Go ahead and text them or call them, go on another date with them. There's so many situations where, for instance, a girlfriend of mine, she was still obsessing over her ex, and then they met for dinner at one point. After 1 year after the breakup, she was still thinking about him. They met for dinner, and she realized, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not attracted to this man. I could never see a future with this man. I don't understand what I've been obsessing over this person. So seeing him made her, kill that obsession, in because a lot of times when you're obsessing over someone, you are obsessing over your own version of that person. It's a fantasy of that person. You're imagining, making up a reality with that person or their character, depending on what your needs are, not how that person actually is. And the reason you're doing that, the reason you have these obsessions, there's that's a whole nother thing. Because a lot of times, people who have obsessions are people who either have a lot of time on their hands, they're either students, retired, they're in some sort of situation where they have too much time, too much free time to fantasize or think, or they're only engaging in physical activity, let's say in their job. This happens a lot. And they're not really using their mind a lot. They're not really engaging or focusing their brain. So their mind wanders all day. So, when you are in these situations, of course, you end up attaching yourself to different things, different obsessions to keep your mind occupied. So it's important to engage in some sort of mental activity, to have some sort of purpose in your life, to be working towards something. Because if you have too much free time, your mind will wander, and you will try to make your life more interesting in some way. And romantic obsession is just there. It's like this person could come and make my life more interesting and give me love and give me adventure and give me validation and all these things. So it's easy to project all these needs on one person, which takes me to my second point. If you have a lot of unmet needs, need for connection, need for touch, physical touch. Let's say you're very lonely and you don't really hang out with people, and you don't have that physical touch, which is a human need, by the way, and there's no one out there to validate you. Then of course you'll project all these needs, and you'll get super attached to a person, because you don't have other sources of fulfillment. So it's really important, and this is something I talk about a lot, to diversify your sources of fulfillment. Find other ways to meet your needs, not just one person, because that breeds obsession. If it's in a healthy relationship, sure, go for it. But even then, be careful, because if you have one person that meets all your needs, it can turn into a toxic, dependent relationship where you feel like you're dependent on the other person. So find ways to meet your needs. Go out of your comfort zone into your stretch zone. Pay attention, not into your panic zone, so you freeze and stop taking action, but into your stretch zone, and start looking for groups of people, looking for more friends, doing activities, going to networking events, going to a bachata or salsa class to meet those physical needs, and start diversifying your sources of fulfillment so you don't need one person to meet all of your needs. Right, so this was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any other questions. Have an amazing day and take care.